up to $86 million. That is how much it could cost Clark County to settle a lawsuit brought against them. A developer is suing for billions, claiming that commissioners approved building more than 5,000 homes near Red Rock Canyon, then illegally stopped the project, sending his business into bankruptcy. Clark County says if the developer were to get the $2 billion that they're seeking, more than the entire annual county budget, it could, quote, have adverse impacts on the county, so they are now looking to settle.
Developer Jim Rhodes, with successful developments like Rhodes Ranch, has been trying to build homes on Blue Diamond Hill next to Red Rock Canyon for 2 decades. Rhodes' company, Gypsum Resources, sued Clark County, arguing they have purposefully and illegally delayed plans. A magistrate judge agreed, finding the county, specifically Commissioner Jones, even covered up their efforts to stop the build, ruling that Jones purposefully deleted all text messages on his phone just hours after voting against the housing development. Quote, the totality of the evidence presented leaves little doubt that the disappearance of all texts from Mr. Jones's phone was not an unidentifiable aberration of electronics or some other unidentified accident, but the result of a purposeful act that, as Clark County says, was knowingly done against county policy. Before he was a county commissioner, Jones was an attorney for a conservation group fighting to preserve the land around Red Rock, even posting this picture on social media in a superhero costume, calling himself the Red Rock Guy, naming the developer as his arch nemesis. Because of Gypsum's lawsuit alleging misconduct by Jones, the Nevada Bar has opened an investigation into the county commissioner, and he has given up his leadership role on the commission. In a special report you can find on Fox5Vegas.com, the Fox 5 team has also reviewed thousands of pages, years of court filings by Gypsum and Clark County. The case is set to go to trial in August if a settlement cannot be reached.
And tomorrow, the $86 million settlement offer will go before Clark County commissioners for approval during a zoning hearing at 1 p.m. So how will the county come up with that money? The county claims while this is a massive payout to the developer, quote, it is significant for the county by reprioritizing and reallocating funds for planned capital projects and other economic development projects not yet underway. The settlement will not have a detrimental impact on services, nor will it require a reduction in staff. The county will continue to identify sources of funding that will not impact the important services the county provides to the community.